Hello and welcome back to the failure to launch that is the Mr. Smelly 1977 fragrance review channel. Today, an epic episode as my favourite AI bot Arthur now roasts other YouTubers. Let's hear his review on some of my other favourite YouTubers out there. Before we hear that though, guys, don't forget to get your fragrance samples at myfragrancesamples.com. That is linked in the description below. Best place in the USA, Canada and Puerto Rico for your designer and niche fragrances. I really recommend them. Also, do not forget, it's available to buy now, Gravitas Essentia. If you loved Gravitas, or even if you never tried Gravitas, you just need to get your nose, your smelly old nose, on this fragrance. It is an incredible update on Gravitas. It's like the fresh flanker. We've added in Artemisia, mint and bay leaf, and actually by doing that we've kind of lifted and elevated all the other citrus stuff that was in there too. A little bit less vanilla. Incredible fragrance. Okay, let's get down to it, guys. These views, these opinions are not the opinion of myself, Mr. Smelly. I simply asked Arthur, the AI robot, to give his review of various fragrance YouTube channels out there, and if you're thinking maybe I gave him a few adjectives and words I would use to describe them just to help his review, that would be completely untrue. That would be ridiculous. This is his genuine opinion. So let's kick off. Okay, first of all, let's find out what he thinks about curly fragrance.
Listen up, you lot. So I stumbled upon this curly fragrance YouTube channel group, and let me tell ya, it's a right bloody rollercoaster ride. This lass is like a firecracker on steroids, sexy but absolutely off the charts rude. First off, the name curly fragrance might make you think of a sweet little granny, but she's anything but. She's like a sass machine on overdrive, with a mouth that could make a sailor blush. Her language is so colorful, I had to double check if I was watching a fragrance review or an X-rated comedy show. Her gob is filthier than the bogs at Glastonbury Festival. And her reviews, mate? Well, they're not for the faint-hearted, that's for sure. She'll tell you exactly what she thinks, no holding back. She'll drop F-bombs and throw shade like it's confetti. Her brutally honest opinions are like a slap in the face, but you can't help but laugh your ass off at the same time. But the best part is her unique sense of humor. She's like a cross between a stand-up comedian and a saucy barmaid, serving up laughs with a side of sass. Except her jokes are about as funny as a motorway pile-up, and she ain't serving us a nice warm pint of best bitter anytime soon. Her witty one-liners and smart comebacks are about as clever as the bloke who went to sea in a chocolate rowing boat. But fair warning, if you're easily offended or prudish, this ain't for you, mate. Curly fragrance is as unfiltered as it gets, and she couldn't care less about being politically correct. She's all about keeping it real, even if it means ruffling a few feathers along the way. In conclusion, this curly fragrance YouTube channel malarkey is not your grandma's fragrance review channel, that's for sure. It's a wild, hilarious, and downright rude ride that's not for the faint-hearted. If you're up for some risque humor and no-nonsense reviews, strap in and get ready for a bumpy, but bloody hilarious, journey. Cheers, and keep it cheeky.
Okay, let's find out what Arthur thinks about Gents Scent.
Alright geezer. Fuck me backwards with a broomstick, you won't believe the drivel I found on YouTube, mates. This bloke called Gents Scent fancies himself a fragrance reviewer, but his channel is about as exciting as watching grass grow. I mean, talk about boring and pretentious. He's got more top 10 videos than me nan's got cats, and that's saying something. This bloke's channel is like a broken record stuck on repeat, going on and on about the same old fragrances like he's the high and mighty perfume connoisseur. But let me tell ya, I'd rather watch paint dry than listen to him drone on about his top 10 masculine scents for rainy days or top 10 oud fragrances for Tuesdays. I mean, who even comes up with this rubbish? And don't even get me started on his pompous demeanor. He acts like he's the king of the fragrance world, with his nose so far up in the air, you'd think he's trying to sniff the clouds. It's like he's got a stick up his bum, strutting around like he's some kind of fragrance god. I reckon this bloke needs to take a whiff of reality and stop pumping out the same old top 10 videos like a broken record. He's boring the socks off me, and I'd rather smell me uncle's gym socks than listen to his nonsense any longer. So, save yourselves the snooze fest, and give this channel a wide berth, mates. Cheers, but no thanks.
And I wonder what he would make of my good friend Chaos Fragrances.
Alright, listen up, mates. I've got a bone to pick with this Chaos Fragrances bloke on YouTube. He fancies himself a fragrance reviewer, but let me tell ya, his channel is a load of bollocks. All he does is yap on about compliments like it's the key to world domination. I mean, has this bloke even seen a real woman in his life? He's too young to shave, let alone have any hair on his chest. I reckon he's still using his mum's perfume. This Chaos Fragrances bloke is like a clueless little pup, trying to act all grown up. It's like he's playing dress up with daddy's cologne and pretending to be a big shot fragrance guru. I bet me last quid he's never even had a girlfriend in real life. He's more interested in sniffing bottles than talking to actual people. And don't even get me started on his videos. It's like he's stuck in a loop, repeating the same nonsense about compliments over and over again. It's like he's got nothing else to talk about. It's as dull as watching paint dry, I tell ya. So, unless you're after advice from a fragrant Peter Pan who's too young to even know how to shave, I'd give this Chaos Fragrances channel a pass. Stick to the big boys, mates, and leave this little fella to play with his toy perfumes. Cheers, but no thank you very much. You are well out of your depth, sunshine. Do one.
As I say, I like Gents Scent and Chaos Fragrances. This is not my opinion, okay? Just a bit of fun, just a bit of fun. Next up, Demi Rawling.
Alright, me ol' mates. Gather round, cause I've got a bloody brilliant review for ya. It's all about the lovely Demi Rawling and a YouTube channel all about fragrances. Now let me tell ya, she's a proper stunner, a beautiful and sexy lady who's got us all infatuated. Her channel is like a breath of fresh air in the fragrance world. She knows her stuff and she's got that charm that keeps us coming back for more. She's like a siren, luring us in with a beauty and captivating us with a knowledge about scents. Her videos are like a romantic date with a twist. She's got this knack for making us feel like we're sitting across from her in a fancy restaurant, sharing a candlelit dinner and a few pints of best bitter while talking about our favorite fragrances. It's like a dream come true, mates. And let me tell ya, she's not just all looks, she's got substance too. She's got that cockney wit and humor that keeps us in stitches. Her jokes and banter are spot on, and it's like we're having a laugh with a mate while learning about fragrances. Just because her accent sounds like she's chewing on a bag of gobstoppers don't mean she ain't my kinda gal. I'm first in the queue if this bronzed Aussie beauty needs someone to help apply the sun cream. We'd love to take her for a romantic dinner, maybe a Savoy and chips and a few pints of Stella, but we know she's got a whole lot of admirers. She's like the queen of the fragrance YouTube world, and we're just lucky to be part of her fan club. Keep it up, Demi, you're the bee's knees and we can't get enough of ya. Cheers to the lovely Demi Rawling, the fragrance queen with a heart of gold. You're a top bird and no mistake, love.
And now my fellow UK reviewer, Chris from Fragmental.
Alright, listen up, me mates. We gotta talk about this bloke called Fragmental and his YouTube channel all about fragrances. Now, let me tell ya, this guy's a few sandwiches short of a picnic. His videos are like a madman's ramblings, making no bloody sense whatsoever. Fragmental. Pigging mental more like. I mean, we're all for a bit of eccentricity, but this guy takes the cake. His reviews are all over the place, talking about notes and accords like he's speaking Martian or something. We're scratching our heads trying to figure out what the bloke's on about half the time. He's from up the north. And he acts like he's got a randy ferret running loose in his trousers most of time. But despite his nutty demeanor, we gotta admit, he's a nice bloke. He's always friendly and approachable, and he's got a heart of gold. It's like he's from another planet, but he's still a decent fella. I'm telling you, he's nuttier than a squirrel's lunchbox. We can't deny it, watching his videos is like going on a roller coaster ride. You never know where you're gonna end up, but it's always an adventure. It's like a wild trip through the fragrance world, with Fragmental as our deranged tour guide. So, if you're looking for sanity and coherence, you won't find it here. But if you're up for a laugh and a bit of chaos, Fragmental's your man. He may be bonkers, but he's a nice bloke who's carved his own unique path in the fragrance community. Keep doing your thing, mate. Even if it's a madhouse, we'll still be watching. Cheers to Fragmental, the mad genius of fragrance YouTube. A lovely fella, just not quite all there in it, mate.
And finally, just for fun, I thought we'd find out the opinions of Arthur the AI robot on the Odor Jerks subreddit group thingy, or whatever you call it.
Let me tell you about this bloomin' Odor Jerks Reddit group, mate. It's a right mess, innit? I stumbled upon it looking for some legit fragrance chat, but instead I found myself in a cesspool of knobheads and trolls. They eat more donuts than a corrupt New York cop. First off, these tossers think they're the bee's knees, acting all high and mighty like they're the kings of the interwebs. But all they do is talk rubbish and take the piss out of others. They've got no respect for anyone, and their jokes are as stale as last week's sarnies. It's like watching a bunch of monkeys flinging poo at each other, but with worse grammar. And don't even get me started on their moderators, mate. They're a right piece of work. They strut around like they're the goddamn Queen's Guard, wielding their ban hammers with glee. They'll ban you for sneezing the wrong way or making a joke that goes over their pointy bonces. It's like they've got their heads stuck up their own asses, thinking they're the lords of the internet. Intense flanker, intense wanker more like. The whole place reeks of toxic masculinity, with blokes flexing their virtual muscles and trying to out-insult each other. It's like a virtual cockfight, but with words instead of feathers flying. They are so busy trying to one-up each other, they've lost sight of what perfumery is all about. Having fun and banging hot chicks. In conclusion, Odor Jerks Reddit group is a right load of bollocks, mate. It's full of rude, obnoxious wankers who think they're comedians, but they're just a bunch of unfunny, rude prats. Avoid it like the plague, unless you're in the mood for a virtual slapstick comedy show of bellends acting tough behind their screens. Cheers, but no thanks. You bloody tossers.
And that's it, guys. Well, let me know what you thought of that video. Another unique concept from Mr. Smelly Inc. And please subscribe if you liked the video, or even if you didn't like it, please subscribe anyway. You never know, the next one might be better. It could hardly be any worse, could it? We'll see you in the next one. Now, remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project on. Although sometimes life may stink, at least we can always smell good. Bye-bye.